Hello, my beautiful YouTube friends. How are you doing? I'm Wardy, and I'm here to bring you guys a YouTube cast. I've obviously got my hands on the HomeStory Cup 20 replay pack, and we're going to be working our way through this for a little while. And we're going to start with the blue Protoss at the bottom left-hand side of World of Sleepers. It is PartinG. And in the top right, our red Terran player is INnoVation. Now, do you remember all of these games are played on the brand new patch that is either live right now or going live soon, depending on when you watch this. Just want to say very quickly, obviously, if you do, first of all, enjoy this video, do like, subscribe, and comment down below. Just want to say sorry for being gone the last few days. I was really bummed out I couldn't go to HomeStory Cup. I just didn't have any replays or anything to cast, and I just decided to take a few days off instead of, I just took a few days off everything. I didn't really plan to do that originally, but I was just feeling super bummed out about not going to HomeStory Cup. So I decided to take a few days off, didn't do any YouTube stuff. I apologize. We're back, and I'm hoping to do a video every single day until the end of the year. And most of them I'm hoping with HomeStory Cup videos and stuff, in my own tournaments, it's going to be like real high quality content, I'm hoping. So, fingers crossed, and looking forward to that as we do see Probe getting some nibble with the SCV at the start of this game. Getting this going as the SCV and the Probe have a bit of a fight here. Gateway dropping down from PartinG out onto that right-hand side as we'll see this SCV come out as well. So PartinG getting aggressive early in the game, that one proxied gateway to apply some pressure. And we do see the Reaper now on the way up, and it's going to be coming out to start chasing the probes around, etc. Now obviously INnoVation, he is sending an SCV across, so he's looking to get some info here early in the game as well. Something else I should probably just quickly mention at the start, by the way, guys, this is not a best of 3, it's a best of 2, which means a tie is accepted as well. So it's only 2 maps, whether someone goes 2-0, obviously then someone wins anyways, but if it goes 1-1, there's no third game. I figured it's probably worth mentioning that as well, because I just forgot that, and that's why it's blanked out here in the bottom side. I could have put best of 2 in there, but honestly, you guys are smart enough to figure it out. I'm sure you'll be fine. So the Zealot is going to be forcing the cancel on this command center. Wall off here, so instant cancel, CC on the high ground now. This is frustrating because you're losing an SCV now. A second SCV is low. Marine comes out though and is safe for the moment. First Stalker is just now starting. There's 2 Zealots in total here. And INnoVation will build up a bunker here on World of Sleepers to try and defend in these early stages. So a couple of Zealots coming up this ramp, and that supply depot taking quite a few shots. Being swiped at here. And there's the Marine just trying to pick its way through the Zealots. With the second Marine out, I don't think you should be able to keep this up with the 2 Zealots, right? Second SCV comes to repair, and yeah, PartinG has to pull away from this. Meanwhile, the Reaper goes across the map. No gateway at home. So this Reaper has free reign over the probe to just get kills. So that's what it's going to be doing. Already picking away and looking for a bunch of damage here. There's probe kill number 2, looking for number 3 in a moment or so. And yeah, that's a lot of damage actually. 3 probes killed. Absolutely makes up for anything INnoVation has lost so far this game. Wow. That's sad though, because that should have been so much more. That probes around from PartinG saves him from so much further trouble. He was even already sending the Stalker home to go and deal with it. That, of course, I mean, still good for INnoVation, right? I mean, not good to lose the Reaper. Stalker could be still back on the bottom left side, dealing with the Reaper. Instead, now he gets to rejoin, but it did delay the time it took until pressure really arrived up here with 2 Stalkers and 2 Zealots. So you do see the Zealot already taking a little bit of damage. This reactor coming up on the barracks now. Factory on a tech lab. INnoVation should be able to break out of this little container we've got going on and out towards the natural in the fairly near future. So 2 Zealots and a couple Stalkers will be able to set up. Obviously, again, the idea is to contain, but that's what the siege tank is coming in for. INnoVation knows what's going on at the moment, as we do see a starport added into the main base as well. These few Marines going to poke down this ramp. The Stalkers actually misfire. They hit the rocks here rather than the Marines, so slight miscontrol from PartinG. That maybe costs them a Marine kill, but not too much. Obviously, INnoVation is ready to truly push down here. Some tank on the ramp, and he should be able to just pretty comfortably. He sends a couple of the Zealots in. They're going to go down. Again, gets an SCV, gets a couple of Marines, if nothing crazy. This tank obviously now confident to move a bit further forwards again and really cover the front area here, so these Stalkers just can't do anything else. Robotics facility on the way up from PartinG, so getting that kind of brought up into play now as well. An extra gateway finishing in the main, and that Twilight Council Chrono boosting out the blink. Tank full of siege, and Marines able to push those Stalkers back, so Stalkers kept away from the front here. Another sentry being added in, another Stalker as well, all being brought up into play. As PartinG still keeping on the aggression, obviously with the robot facility coming up as well. putting himself in a spot where he wants to be able to get into the warp prism, etc. If he wants, you know, get some more pressure on the map. It works well with the units he has, but he's actually going to go observer first. He will have blink in a moment, so he will have that little bit more mobility. I love this. INnoVation's just like, you know what, I'm not even going to go for the pylon. I'm just going to straight kill the gateway. You don't see that every day. Usually you focus the pylon first and stop an extra warping. INnoVation gets the gateway, gets the pylon. He's actually pulling a couple of SCVs here to go down across the other side of the map. So INnoVation looking to get aggressive. As we do see a couple of Marines taking some shots. Nice blink back. PartinG is so good at micro still, by the way. You know, he's so good. He'll blink at the right time all the time, and it's really impressive to watch him play that sort of style at times. As we do see these units just going to gather up on top of the ramp. Getting a couple of shots off. Marines firing as well, and if the Stalker gets picked, and still just seeing this Sentry taking a little bit more damage. Marines and tanks going to continue to press up towards the natural here, as we do see these probes starting to pull in towards the front. Another Immortal pressing forwards, and well, Immortal can definitely help against those tanks. The Immortal gets taken down pretty quickly. The Stalkers blink in, and now they take a lot of damage. I actually really love that INnoVation didn't siege up his other two siege tanks here, because that's done a lot for him. 3 more Stalkers now. Now they are siege up. Now they can't fight these Stalkers. They'll just go for probes. He gets 8 of them, and there's a couple more Stalkers go down. That will be that. And INnoVation's attack will be done as a reinforcing tank actually is going to be saved by the medevac too. Nice micro, nice control. Bunkers are still building at the front, by the way, so these SCVs are still making progress. There's going to be, well, another one picked up in a moment. Another SCV just showed up. It's trying to get some repairing done whenever possible. It's also being healed by the medevac. Everyone helping each other out in INnoVation's army. INnoVation on the other side loses a couple loses SCVs over here, right? Nothing going on the other side of the map. No way PartinG could be there. And INnoVation gets out with the medevac, that tank that showed up. But there is blink, and he's going to blink for the medevac, and it's going to go down. Drops the tank off. Can he get himself a Stalker kill? Not quite. Very close, though. Really exciting first game here between INnoVation and PartinG. Really back and forth aggression, and love what INnoVation was just doing as we dropped a few mules down in this natural. Needs to get some workers on these gases. Has got his engineering base up. Just AFK SCVs, that's very unlike INnoVation, actually. Seems to fix that up as we do see a defensive bunker coming in. Obviously lost a lot of his aggressive units here, so actually doesn't have a lot to defend with. That could be a problem, especially because PartinG has high ground vision thanks to this observer, so can move this into the main base in a moment. Sparks lifts off the reactor, drops back down. A couple of Marines start producing again. Siege tank on the way out. SCVs are being picked away at. So SCVs are going down here, as we will see. Just SCVs pulled into Marines coming up to the top side. Marauder and attack here as well. We're not going to see those Stalkers having to blink away through the top side. Those Stalkers just out the front here. Observer hanging around, and we do see the 3rd orbital command sighting up as well. Mules continue to drop down into this natural expansion. Extra barracks coming down. Siege tank coming towards the front, and these Stalkers from PartinG just going to get in there, pick off an SCV, nicely done, and they grab themselves an orbital command here as well in a moment or two. I mean, these Stalkers just give you so much map control, while INnoVation's at a point in the game where he doesn't really have control. Does he lose a 3rd base? I think he might. Oh my god, it just goes down. What a pick by PartinG. That's a 3rd CC that INnoVation has now without for a very long time. I wonder if that even maybe influences INnoVation just 2 base all in. Just pull the SCVs with an attack in the near future. You've got 5 racks pumping out units. I mean, really pumping out units as well. Triple Tech Lab in play. Factory building a reactor. There's combat shields on the way. I mean, that would be the time to attack as well, right? When you get combat shields up, just go for it. Don't start. I mean, he's got 1-1. I actually don't mind with the 1-1 upgrades. It might have a lot of success potential, actually. I like it. I like the idea. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I feel like it might be better than building up a 3rd CC again. I think he's going to do it, right? If he was going to rebuild the 3rd, he would have done that a while ago. Great play here. Recognizes the War Prism is heading towards the main, so he gets his units into the main. Scans, sees the 3rd base, is producing probes, so knows that's setting up. There's the Prism in the main. INnoVation, no, he's moving out across the map. Oh man, maybe, you know what, he had nothing to see the Prism with. I think this was just a bit of preparation maybe for Stalkers or the Prism, but it didn't come, so he actually decided just to kind of pull away. Good defense in the end, though. Obviously, he was still somewhat closer than he usually would have been had he not done anything there. As that War Prism goes down, nice catch. Now INnoVation can somewhat safely just move across the map. So there's going to be 5 racks of bio units, 81 to 47 army supply, an upgrade lead with 2 full upgrades over PartinG. I still think PartinG might be in some trouble here in terms of dealing with this attack. Remember, PartinG did lose an economy early, and that's why he's somewhat struggling in terms of army supply. The only thing that's really gone well for PartinG is the fact he killed the third base. But this is the sort of play right now where INnoVation wouldn't have been missing out on too much of that yet. PartinG does have High Templar for Storms, but the split was beautiful to start. Second split was good, the third split, well, Franny does take some damage as now the sentries get chased. The Archon morphed in, will not be allowed to finish, and wow, there's just too much bio, right? These Zealots are just going to be in so much trouble as they try and pull away down this bottom side. Now, I don't believe it. There's no way as these tanks siege up. This bio army picks off this Nexus. This is too much from INnoVation. PartinG is going to need some miraculous storms here to turn this around. And, well, he's got 2 available, I believe, so I mean, honestly, one of them on the Widow Mines wouldn't be a waste. He does drop it there. He kills off 2 of the 4. But yeah, there's just not enough units, right? He's got 1 more Storm left on a High Templar. But he's losing Zealots by the second, and INnoVation just camping out the front of this natural expansion. You can just see as Widow Mines will start firing as well. Those Zealots get softened up. It's going to be even easier for INnoVation. He's very heavily pre-split, ready to deal with High Templar if they do come into Storm. But there's none left over anyways, and INnoVation keeps pressing through this here. 75 to 25 army supply, 3 times as much as what PartinG is holding with the upgrade lead. Just makes this bio army so impossible to kill. Maybe the Storm was a mistake. Maybe this is a scenario where PartinG just makes units. Because Storm, especially as your first form of splash damage, doesn't work well when it's, you know, not off of a lot of units anyways. Because then you just have to hit really good Storms, and if those Storms don't do well enough, you just die. You know, it's not like Colossus where you pull it back and it will deal damage throughout the course of a fight. No, it's like hit or miss in those first couple of Storms. Whereas if PartinG here, maybe he adds on... I guess the issue with adding on extra gateways is that he's already committed to no upgrades, right? And so it kind of doesn't make sense. I feel like it would have worked well after he picked off the third, but maybe then it was too late for him to kind of change his mind on what he was doing. Very interesting first game. Pretty dominant by INnoVation, actually, though. So he goes up 1-0 in this best of 2. Let's see if he will win it 2-0, or if PartinG is able to draw it out 1-1. See. Okay, it's going to be Thunderbird for map number 2. And we start off on the top left-hand side of this one with our red Terran player, INnoVation. Up against, in the bottom right, the blue Protoss, it is PartinG. So our second and final map of this series, whether it goes 1-1 or 2-0, this is it. And thank you for dropping by and checking out the video today. It's going to be back, and like I said, hopefully a video every day for the rest of the year on the YouTube channel. I know I've been off and on. I know I've just had streaks of being really good and then streaks of being kind of bad. December we're going to do a lot of content, like a lot of content. So, especially because we have HomeStory cover replays. The fact that this was played on the upcoming patch is amazing, because it means that these replays will last us a good little while. I have some really cool tournaments planned as well. We already started the WardiTV Team League, for example. So yeah, just really looking forward to all of it. And there should be some just really good matches coming up on the stream, on the YouTube channel for you all. So again, hit that subscribe button and don't miss out on any of it. We're not quite going to hit our 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year goal, but we'll continue to fight on forwards. And we'll make it in 2020, I'm sure. Alrighty then, initial SCV here. Coming out onto the map, heading into the center, down toward the bottom right-hand side. So SCV is off on its way. You can just see this SCV here already mining up a couple of minerals and is going to bring that out to command center in a moment. So early game here on Thunderbird is a little bit more regular in the early stages. You know, no proxied gateway, just the early expand from PartinG. What's crazy is imagine INnoVation kept that Reaper from being surrounded, then all of a sudden you probably get so much more damage done again. Like imagine that you get yourself into a position where you're able to do like, you know, suddenly you're able to put yourself in a position where you're able to pick off like 3 or 4 more probes. I mean, PartinG's really dead then. It was already very good early game damage. And obviously it just got even worse for him, so. Pretty crazy as we do see SCV back down the low ground. Good scout, I mean, gets to see pretty much everything that's going on that an SCV is meant to see. You're not really meant to scout the tech structure with an SCV. There will be a gateway unit out in time typically, but it's a very fast Stargate. And so maybe if the SCV had suicided in, it would have seen the Stargate, but very hit and miss. And yeah, INnoVation, he'll just kind of sit back and he'll be happy for the moment as the factory on its way out. React onto the barracks, and we'll look to see how you're able to defend the Stargate play. Obviously, if you can find out that it's a Stargate by scouting, which is hard because this little jumper path is blocked. If you're able to scout that it's a Stargate, then you can go into like a Viking Cyclone opener, and that's really powerful against a Stargate opener, because then you just deny like all damage from ever being done, and you're just like, well, what do you do as the Protoss player then? Your Oracles are just kind of destined to not do much, and it puts you in a really tough spot. So do you see the Phoenix is moving in the production tab, so that's really nice as well. So Reaper heading down to the bottom right. The Adept is going to head up in towards the main base here, so having a little look up into the main. See what's going on. Cyclone is on its way out as the starport drops down at Tech Lab. Adept is able to pick off the Reaper there, so Reaper will go down. As you just see this Adept pulling back down the bottom right, and that is our Nexus. Dropping into third base. Nexus drops down, Raven on at the starport coming up here at the moment. Couple of extra Marines coming out, and as they pop, we'll still just see the Cyclone kind of moving. So, obviously with Phoenix, you actually don't get as aggressive as quickly. Phoenix against the Viking Cyclone is a little bit better than if you went Oracles, obviously, because they can kind of fight back. There wasn't a Viking either, it's just straight into this Raven. Phoenix is actually real good against the Raven, because it's very, very hard to keep the Raven alive against those Phoenix. So, that's going to be kind of interesting to keep a watch for. As you do see, Partin will follow this with Forging the Twilight Council. So this time at least you will get an upgrade for the gateway units. And obviously then you can go in towards the Twilight as well. Probably go Blink first still. Maybe not. Maybe you can go straight at Charge, because unless he wants to play Adept, actually. But the Adept upgrade, Resonant Glaze, isn't good in the new patch. It's just straight up considered to be bad. Blink isn't really as necessary as usual, because the Phoenix will give you map control and kind of safety against drops, etc. The mobility that Blink usually gives you. So it is going to be Charge. I saw Glaives for a moment there, I was like, oh, interesting, but no, it's going to be Charge, actually. And +1 armor as well. Which makes sense. I think Phoenix into the Zealots is one of the stronger ways to play this sort of style, so getting this set up as we do see the Phoenix heading up to the top side, and this one decides to take a turn around as well. Moving into the main base in a moment. Raven, Cyclone, a few Marines. Just gonna be able to pick off that Raven. Boom. Like I said, it's just so hard to keep this Raven alive against Phoenix, and that's a perfect example of why. The Phoenix just fly in, kill the Raven, and boom, just like that. Feels good as the robot facility. On the way up in the main base, a couple of Zards, a couple of sentries. They move out over to this left-hand side. And Adept here from Partin is hanging out to the right, and just going to be seeing the Phoenix just hanging around as well. This bunker about to finish up. Phoenix just, again, all the way along over to this left side here, and grab themselves an SUV. That Phoenix was a little late getting out. Kind of felt like the Cyclone might have gotten a kill, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Cyclone gets a lock on again. This time the Phoenix get the lift up. We'll have to lift up again as the Marines come in to defend, but then the Marines get picked off too, so Partin is just picking up a lot of value here. One Phoenix so far for Raven, Cyclone, Marines, Reaper, and an early SCV too. You can't really get much more than that, especially with the Raven involved, right? That's just 200 gas that just disappears from the game. It's such a big investment to not get anything with. INnoVation does have a third CC. No Blink Soldiers this time just yet to actually come and punish that. And obviously the Phoenix aren't going to kill it off as it floats over, so INnoVation doesn't have to be too worried about that at all. As I really love this Phoenix play. Partin's getting so much done with it. I mean, the resources loss is already 1,000 in his favor. Again, if he's just able to save that one Phoenix. Oh no! Oh my god, I was just singing his praises, and suddenly he flies over all the Marines. Well, there it goes. That's the difference made. The Phoenix go down. It's always a shame when Phoenix die, because Phoenix will always have a use, right? If you have 3 to 5 Phoenix, you will always be able to hit a mineral line and get a couple kills, or a couple more kills, right? This is a big shame, and INnoVation makes a big payoff to make up a lot of the resources lost. Now he doesn't have to worry about Phoenix, Can get onto the map and maybe make something happen. I mean, PartinG's on 3 bases, going up to 4. He's 20 workers up, and he has a ton of zealots. I'm not sure INnoVation can really fight this at all, actually. You'll have to be very careful as Phoenix actually find the medevac heading to the bottom side, so that's obviously not a good start for Inno. He's going to lose that. Let's look at this drop. Sorry, this main fight. That drop's dead. It doesn't actually happen as INnoVation. You're going to try and lift up into the 3rd base instead. Kills off one of the Phoenix with a Widow Mine. 2 Widow Mines going to burrow up here along with the Bio that's going to come in, and what's the plan? He's going to get a few probes. If he gets the Phoenix, he can then lift up into the main base, so you can go from one base to the other and just keep up this aggression, which is really nice. So unloading in the main, the Stalker's taking a lot of damage. And the Zarkon's going to be in some trouble as well, as you do see his force coming back down at the bottom right-hand side. And the Stalker 2 getting picked off, and again, that medevac just escaping away over to the right. Zealots from PartinG going to start pressing forwards here. The Widow Mine's going to start burrowing up, but oh my god, the force fields are beautiful. The Bio has to get out of there. The Widow Mines do a lot, but if there was a couple more, it would have been so much more deadly. Well, there's a couple more now, and the Zealots are still a little bit clumped. Even the split away doesn't save a lot of them. And now the Zealots bruised and battered are dropping pretty quickly against this Bio force. They just have one attack upgrade advantage over PartinG with just +1 armor, although about a hit +2 armor. Those Zealots are going to become so much more difficult to kill as Archons are picking up Bio units, and it looks like, oh, INnoVation loses the medevacs out over to the left side. It looks as though PartinG is looking really good in this game number 2, right guys? I mean, he's cleaning up everything from INnoVation at the moment. Inno has no workers over on the 3rd base either. He never really produced SCVs past 2 base saturation. He's just been muling this 3rd base, but that's obviously painful. In fact, he hasn't even been muling the 3rd base, maybe here or there. That's crazy. So INnoVation very committed to that 2 base attack, and now it's not worked out. He is in a lot of trouble. As the Ghost Academy is going to be finishing here in the front in a moment or two, so that's going to be completing shortly. More Widow Mines in production, more medevacs and Bio on the way out. There's the Robo Bay that will drop in as well here from PartinG. So getting that up and running. PartinG just sat out the front. Really looking to be aggressive, get some probes back on the 4th base too. So he's up on 4 bases, mining comfortably. INnoVation is transferring workers as he oversaturates the main and natural, runs out of mineral patches, transfers workers to 3rd base, but obviously still not on a good work account. The Widow Mines do a good job of this at the start, and that might slow PartinG from continuing this attack, but he cleans out the Widow Mines, which means they're never going to get to fire again, which means reinforcing Zealots will have a bit of a better time. And there is that reinforcement of Zealots coming in right as we speak. Behind it all, Robo Base coming up, Storm is about to be done, and PartinG just gets more and more splashed on damage into play. Just makes this game better and better for him as it continues on. He doesn't really need to be trading right now. He can just sit back and let his, economy do the, do the work. At the same time, it's not bad to trade, right? Because if you're mining more, eventually you'll kind of fight your opponent down. It's just, it's not a good position to trade and try and push up this ramp, etc. More Prism out through the top is going to come dropping in towards the 3rd base. So a few Zealots beginning to unload here, and SCV is starting to go down already. It's 3 workers picked off actually. 4. Oh, it's pretty crazy at the moment for that, as we do see this Bioforce continues to the bottom right-hand side. So here we are. The army gets something done as Sanchez taking some damage. Archon's going to take a beating here as well. Just going to be seeing the War Prism on the right. The probes that pull away. I like that little pull away of the probes just to the right side. Zealots kill the 3rd base, by the way, so the counter-attack of PartinG makes INnoVation be extremely all-in over here. And well, first Colossus is out. Couple of Storms dropping down from the War Prism. Chases this army away, and INnoVation will type GG. Doesn't even take the rest of the fight. I mean, he's very low HP bio units against Colossus Archon. Maybe he could, if he could get those Archons, then keep fighting. But obviously, there's going to be Warpins coming in, and his reinforcements aren't really doing much. So it seems maybe he could have took like one more fight, but PartinG has so much money. Anyways, you guys, cheeky little Wardy view there, guys. I thought I was streaming, so swap it over to the Wardy cam. My bad. So yeah, there you go. INnoVation drops the 2nd game. In this game, the series ended up 1-1, and this is just the first of what will be many HomeStory Cup replay casts, because there's some really good games from this HomeStory Cups and some really good players. So thanks so much for watching again. Sorry for the lack of uploads the last few days. There'll be more coming from here on out. Thank you so much. See you guys.